Hello, dear student. Thank you for your faith in Expert Global. We really wish that this association turns out to be a successful one for you and you end up learning a lot through this very meaningful pursuit of applications. The purpose of this video is to help you understand the entire value chain. So, Apps Planner is one sheet that forms the tracker for the entire application process. I'm sharing a sample planner with you. You will have one shared with you. So that planner would be shared specifically with you with our entire applications team. There are 4 tabs in this planner. First is the firm timelines. The second one is essays details. In the first tab here, firm timelines, the entire milestones are talked about and a description for each is given. I would be covering upon this in a lot more detail. This is the most important sheet in the planner. Second is essays details. This is where you fill in the list of the schools that we shortlist, the required essays, word limit, and all of that. The third tab is guidelines, a broad overview of certain suggestions to keep the entire communication very clear and to make the best out of this association. And the final tab is of results, where you keep on updating the results that you get from the schools where you submit your applications. So coming to the first tab here, firm timelines tab, in all the entire application process has been divided into 17 milestones. We keep updating our processes, so maybe by the time you watch this video the number may have changed a bit, but broadly the flow remains the same. So the first column talks about the milestone number. The second column talks about the description of each milestone. The third column talks about the owner of each milestone. The fourth column talks about the due dates in terms of the number of days elapsed since your enrollment. And remember, these are the latest dates, these are not the target dates. So for example, if it is day 7 here, it means that the respective milestone has to be achieved latest by day number 7, sooner the better. And then the live dates, these are the target dates, and these dates suggest the practical dates on which each milestone is achieved. Wherever a milestone is not achieved, an appropriate comment is put. If the milestone is covered timely, then the respective milestone is turned green. Ideally, it should be all green by the end of day 35. In case a milestone is missed, then we turn one of the versions of red. And if it becomes, really late, then we turn it dark red. It means that actually the task has either not been completed or it has been completed so late that it is going to have a very serious impact on your results. So coming to the next column, calendar alert. So very often while giving you a task, we put a calendar alert. That would mean that we would send you an event on the calendar suggesting that by such and such date the milestone is due and you are supposed to clear the milestone before the deadline. And this is a column where we give our comments, and this is a column where you can give your comments. See, this entire area is owned by Experts Global. This is under EG's ownership. This entire area is logged and the student cannot make changes here, cannot make edits. In case you have some comments to make, please do it in your column here. This part is not logged. So now let's cover each milestone in detail. The first milestone is starting the applications process. This is marked by sending the first set of emails by the Experts Global team. So when you enroll with us on the very day you enroll, day 0, the first 3 or 4 emails regarding starting the application process are sent. So there's one email that requests you to fill up the 2 questionnaires. There's one email that guides you on the correct communication protocol with Experts Global. There's one email that gives you a very elaborate checklist for the entire set of documents and logistics that have to be taken care of. Then milestone number 2 is that the student has to revert with duly filled questionnaires. The two questionnaires, profiling questionnaire and the school shortlisting questionnaire, they have to be duly filled by the student and sent to us latest by day number 7. You would be sent a calendar invitation for this, and show that you send it on time. The ones marked in blue, these milestones are all critical milestones. They are a must for the process to keep flowing. If these are not met, then the entire process gets blocked there. And they are critical also because from our experiences, we have seen that these are the milestones where students most falter. So for example, if we have started the process and we don't receive questionnaire from you on time, how do we proceed? The entire process is going to delay. Similarly, the other ones would have some critical dependence associated with them. So please, it takes, while every milestone is very important, the ones marked in blue are extremely important. So by day 7, we should receive the questionnaires from you duly filled. The third milestone is the experts global team sending you emails regarding the recommendations and resume process. So once you have sent us the questionnaire, you start working on your resume and you do the groundwork for the recommendation letter. So there's one email we send regarding the preparation of resume, and we send 2 emails regarding the recommendation. So one email helps you in identifying the right recommenders. The other email will help you in the content of the recommendation letters. The first email requires an action, the second email requires an action, the third email just requires an acknowledgement. So experts global team needs to send these 3 emails to you. That marks the completion of milestone number 3. Milestone number 4 is with the student, and that is to simply revert on the milestone number 3, reverting to these 3 emails with the necessary details by day 11 of the enrollment. And in case, while it is best avoided, suppose this happened on day 9, not on day 8, then in that case, at least the elapsed time between 2 milestones have to be respected. So for example, if this happened on day 9, then this should happen by day 12, not beyond that. A delay at every milestone has to be best avoided. In fact, you must always try to meet the milestone. If at all you miss one, try to recover the lost time by being faster on the further milestones, of course, without compromising on the quality of work anywhere. So we were at milestone number 4 here. The milestone number 5 is setting up a brainstorming session. The owner is Experts Global. This is a very important part of the entire process. So our team would go through all the stuff sent by you so far. We would have internal discussions around how to project your story, what kind of schools suit you the best, who would be the right recommenders for you, what should be your career goals, what should be the list of schools you apply to, all that thing. So this is a very important milestone in the entire value chain. So this would be either over phone or Skype, and there are 4 parts of this. One is finalizing the story of your applications. This includes the career goals. Second is the shortlisting of schools. The third is identification of the right recommenders for you. And fourth is clarifying any doubts that you may have so far. A very important session this. And then once the milestone number 5 is completed, milestone number 6 is achieving the clarity on final list of schools and filling up the details of essays on the apps planner. So as the schools were shortlisted here, you have 2 days time after this to give us final clarity on schools and fill up the details of all the essays for the schools, all the schools that you're applying to. So this is also another very critical milestone in the entire process. Because of course, if you don't have clarity on your schools, we cannot complete the essays work, and and many of the further milestone cannot be achieved. A crucial word of caution here: this is a milestone where students often get very confused, because the school shortlisting process can get overwhelming for students. There are hundreds of good business schools, and to know where exactly one has to apply, there is no formula for it, and very often the lack of information or half information is dangerous. We are there to help you. Don't take the onus of finalizing the schools on you, with the experience of having taken 1,000+ students into the world's top-notch universities. We understand that what would be the right list for you, considering all factors such as your profile, your GMAT score, your career plans, your budget, all those factors. So please don't let yourself get overwhelmed by this particular milestone. From our side, it will be possible to start the work on the further milestones only when we have complete clarity on the list of schools, because a piecemeal approach is not possible, saying that I'm applying to 11, but for now I have clarity on only say 5 or 3 or even 10. It doesn't work like that, because the way our team works is that we need to have clarity on all the schools. Then we'll block a few days on our calendar where we'll be working only on your case, and then we will be completing all your work, concentrating only on your essays. We'll be into your skin and working only on your stuff. You will appreciate that we don't look at any other student while we are in your mode. Similarly, tomorrow when we complete your work and we are into some other student, we would want to focus only on that student to help him have his or her best chance. And remember, the quality of work turns out to be the best when we are completing all the essays together, because they all these all essays will help one another, and the quality of all, if we are applying to say 11 schools, they are going to be good 45 50 to 55 essays that have to be written, and the quality of all 50 odd essays will improve if we are working on all of them together, rather than working on a few and then losing touch on you, and then moving to some other student and then coming back on you. It is a highly inefficient process, and it has a very serious impact on your results and the quality of work, as well as our efficiency. It takes us so much longer to come back to work back and forth on students, and we ourselves know that the quality is badly affected if we are working on students in pieces. The best is we block a few days, work on you and you alone, and give you your all essays for all schools. So very important. Please don't force us in this regard, that right now you have clarity on only these many schools, we should complete that much work, and later on you will give clarity on more, and then we will work on other schools. Very humbly but very firmly, this approach is not possible. We need to have clarity on all the schools. Only then we can start working on your essays. Trust us, this is for your own benefit only. Coming to the next milestone, reverting with edited resume. So yes, when you revert on milestone number 4 with necessary details, you would have sent us your version of resume, and here within 5 days of this respective milestone, we should have reverted with the edited version of your resume. Again, remember, these are the final dates. Practically we take much sooner than this. Internally we have this quality management that all emails have to be answered within 2 working days, and therefore we generally end up answering stuff much faster, and these milestones are generally overachieved by our team. So that's milestone number 7. Milestone number 8 is a set of emails that we would be sending you. Sorry, it's only one email with a set of action items around filling up the online application forms and all technicalities around the application forms. These include recommendation letters, forwarding the GMAT score, etc. So the idea is that once we get clarity from you on your schools and the essays that we are writing, we send you here the necessary action to be taken in terms of keeping everything else ready to an extent that once you get your essays, you can upload your essays and you can very well proceed with the submission of your applications. So we send you the email, and therefore the next milestone becomes extremely important for you, which is to ensure that you complete all the online application forms and the stuff around it, recommendation letters, forward your GMAT scores and stuff like that. It's a critical milestone because, of course, without this, you cannot be submitting your applications. Once again, students sometimes keep on delaying it, thinking that filling up the online forms is something that they would do towards the end, but please don't do that. Don't do it in an application by application manner. Once again, fill up all your online application forms together. You will see that you will be much faster that way. The questions in one application form will repeat in other application forms. For your recommenders also, the questions in one recommendation letter will repeat in other recommendation letters, and their quality of work will also improve a lot if they are working on all the recommendation letters together. The way our quality improves a lot if you are working on all the essays together, the same applies on online application forms, the same applies on the recommendation letters as well. So avoid piecemeal approach throughout the application process. Try to do one kind of work in one go. So if you're focusing on filling up the online forms, focus on online forms. If focusing on essays, focus on essays. That is the right and efficient approach. So don't let this be a milestone that's delayed. And remember, while you are working on these action items, we have been working parallelly on your essays. We received clarity on your essays as per the schools finalized on day number 15. Day number 25 is where we have to deliver all essays for all schools. So these 10 days we work closely on your case to ensure that all essays for all schools are ready to present your best candidature. Remember, the dates that you are seeing here are sample dates. These may be a bit different in the planner that has been personalized for you. However, in a big chunk of our work, we work on these timelines. So day 25, we deliver all the essays. We received clarity from you regarding the completion of all the online application forms and the supporting work around it. And therefore, within 2 days of this, by day 26, we have to review all your online application forms and give you a heads up. That's milestone number 11. And milestones 12 and 13, we consider these optional because a significant percentage of students don't require it. More than half the students don't require it. These milestones are around you coming back to us with any changes that you may require on the essays that we gave you, and thereafter we reverting on your suggestions, either incorporating your suggestions or explaining why your suggestions may not be worthwhile. So day 25, you receive your all the essays. You have 3 days to come back to us with any suggestions that you may have, and within 2 days of that, we come back with uh, our revert on your suggestions. A disconnect at this stage is very rare. How? Because you already know that what we're going to present in your application. We had a detailed discussion on this in the brainstorming session, and anyway, the core work is based on the questionnaire that you sent us. Wherever we see a disconnect, we counsel you, and therefore you have a very fair idea about how your applications are going to shape up, and therefore uh, most of the students at this stage do not have suggestions to make. However, in case you have some, we encourage you to come back to us and we will be happy to revert. So these are milestones 12 and 13. Milestone number 14 is ensuring that all the application forms and recommendations are submitted by the student. So see, you received everything here on day 25. By day 24 from your side, all the application forms were anyway ready, and therefore These 8 days are quite a luxury. Practically, one should be able to submit the applications within a couple of days of receiving everything. However, we keep it a band here for any unforeseen circumstances. However, practically understand that within 4 weeks overall, a student should ideally be able to submit all of one's applications. That's milestone number 14. Milestone number 15 is commencement of interview preparation. So while we write day 28 here, practically we start this process from our side immediately after submitting all the essays to the student. So ideally we do it on day 25 itself. Day 28 is a safe date. Milestone number 16 is reverting with duly filled interview questionnaire. So when we start our interview preparation process, we send you a very detailed questionnaire that you have to fill regarding the frequently asked questions in the interview process. The idea is not to give you a script or to make you prepare a script. The idea is just to help you prepare a holistic idea of your responses in the interview process. So you are supposed to prepare your responses, send them to us. However, our feedback would come directly in the mock interview stage, where we would be giving you detailed feedback on all aspects of your interview, from content to body language to voice modulation to mannerism, everything. And while generally students take multiple mocks, they are necessary. The first mock is to judge and give detailed feedback, and thereafter generally 2 more mocks are needed. However, at least 1 mock is mandatory for completing the entire value chain here. That is milestone number 17. Some ad hoc requests. So in case we have some miscellaneous query from you, it's a detailed process. Very often students have some queries. The right medium is to just send us an email, and the experts apps team is supposed to revert to all these queries within 2 days. In case you have access to the recommendations that your recommender is writing, and you want us to review, we will do that. The turnaround time once again is a maximum of 2 days. Any other ad hoc request that you may have, the experts apps team has to revert in 2 days. In case we require some extra information from you, some drafts or peculiar essays that may not already be a part of our questionnaire, we would reach out to you, and similarly you must revert in a maximum of 2 days. Something crucial here, please read this carefully. The suggested deadlines ensure that the student gets enough time for each task. Please understand that our calendars are fixed several weeks in advance, and a delay shall not be accommodated, as we cannot afford to overburden ourselves and let the quality of work suffer for other students. On a humble yet firm note, in case the suggested deadline for any student-owned milestone is not met, we neither assure the completion of work nor admits. In case you have opted for the guarantee version, the guarantee shall lapse. Sorry for the connotation here, but we have had difficult experience with casual students. So you will understand that every student is important for us, and we do this in a very organized way. We train only a certain number of students every year. And when we are focusing on your work, we will be focusing only on your work. And therefore, tomorrow when the team is working on someone else, it would not be fair to the other student to deviate the attention of the team. We will have certain days blocked according to the deadlines here, and it is a request that you please honor these timelines so that we complete the entire work to the best quality during the timelines that are reserved for you. There are times when we give stuff to the students weeks, months in advance, but they come back to us and on the eve of the deadline, putting up some query and all. With the human element we try to help, it does become very difficult for us. So please honor these timelines, and we will honor the same at our end. Coming to the next tab, essays details tab. So this is where you will be filling up all the details required by different schools in terms of the essays to be written. So these are school number. Generally, most of our students opt for a standard program of 11 applications. The second column is schools. So you arrange these schools in the order of the deadlines. The third column is of required essays. So avoid using any private resources for getting these questions. Please get the essays directly from the online application form. Use this opportunity for starting your online application with the shortlisted schools and for knowing all the technicalities in the often complex application forms. Some forms are actually very complex. For example, if you're applying to ISB, the application form is very complex. So the earlier you start, the better it is. Put the word limits here in this column D. Wherever you don't see a word limit, please clearly mention that there is no word limit suggested or word limit missing. Clearly suggest the application deadline in column E. In this column, you can suggest the reasons why you want to pursue your MBA from this particular school. MBA or whatever program you're applying for. So the reasons may include location, duration, specific concentration they offer, some star faculty that they may have, some particular student clubs that they may have, their program structure, their methodology of teaching, some peculiar center of excellence they may have, some particular student activities that you may be interested in, some particular elective courses that you may be interested in, some particular career that the school may be especially very good for. There are scholarship opportunities, return on investment, all kind of factors. So in case you have some clear reasons why you want to pursue your MBA from some specific schools, please mention it here and we will incorporate your suggestions in the essays. In this column, you can mention the specific pointers that you may have for each essay to be written. So for example, if it's some school, is a particular essay here. If you have some specific idea of how you would want the essay to look like, please mention your exact inputs here and we will incorporate the same in the essays that we write. So you can read this comment here. Coming to column H, this is the application URL, the exact URL where you can access the online application form. Then column I is the user ID for each school, and column J is the password for the respective school. Fill it all meticulously. It's going to be a lot of help for you, for yourself, when you proceed into the application process. The third tab, you can keep on updating the results that you're getting. So the specific schools that you have applied to, the date on which the applications are submitted, the dates on which the recommendations were submitted, and you can keep on putting the updates in this column. So for example, if you've got an interview invite, you can just put such this date, received interview invitation, then this date. So whatever communication is happening, you can just keep on putting your updates. Remember, this is going to be a lot of help for your own self. This sheet would work as one place where you have all the information consolidated in a very organized way. In case you want to put some notes, you can put your notes here. And the last row, rather tab, is around the guidelines. So while all of it must be clear through our pre-enrollment conversation and then the videos that you may have seen before enrolling, still just for the sake of completion, I'll just touch upon each of these guidelines very quickly. Emails are the official, most reliable means of communication. It may not be practically possible for us to answer phone calls without appointments all the time. Internally, we have this policy of replying to all emails within 2 working days. So if you have written to us, it is our duty. We will always come back. In case sometimes we need longer than 2 days, we will write to you, inform you nonetheless that it's going to take more than 2 days. However, most queries, more than 90% of the queries are answered very, very quickly, much less than 2 working days. Remember, we are a reminders free enterprise. When you write to us, rest assured you will always hear back in the stipulated time. Sometimes students have this habit of sending an email and then calling and telling that we have sent an email. So that's not needed if you have written to us. Remember, this is one ID to which all of us have access. We all check this particular email on a regular basis. So there is no way that we are going to miss it. The concerned person would look into the email and reply. Please acknowledge all emails. Keep closing the thread. So sometimes just an okay, a thanks, a smiley, all of that is enough. So just please acknowledge. Phone and Skype sessions are scheduled at logical junctures in the process. In case you need a call at any stage, please email us and the appropriate person in the team will reach out to you over a detailed conversation by appointment. Stick to the processes. They are the gist of all our experience of having taken 1,000 plus students from different parts of the world into the world's most eminent institutions. So just honor these processes. They are there for a reason. We keep on revising these processes every year. So please honor them. That way you will have your best results. For best results, milestones need to be achieved in the suggested order. Please do not force us to jump the milestones. I have touched upon this earlier also. So some common examples include asking for essays for a partial list of schools, sending only one questionnaire, asking for school shortlisting, piecemeal approach in online forms or in different activities. So just please avoid these. Follow the milestone approach. You will see that the entire application process is completed in a very organized way. Please do not force us to fake on your applications. It's a meaningful process, and we take pride in our ways of doing things. It's a very ethical process. I don't think I need to talk much about that. Whatever information you give us in your questionnaire, we assume it all to be correct, and then to present it properly in interest of your application, your candidature is our job. And finally, please be a student to us, not a client. We do what we do with a lot of passion, with a lot of heart. My team is made up of really special individuals who feel strongly for the pursuit of education, and they are with us at Experts Global for their passion in mentoring. And it is always those results from the students, those thank you calls, those admits that we see the impact of our work that keeps us going. So we really want the best for you. This is a very meaningful association. We understand the importance of it in your career. We understand that the outcome of this association is going to have a lasting impact on your career. We thank you for having faith and in associating with us, and your faith is a badge of honor. We owe some authentic mentoring to you. We are committed to you. So on that note, I would end this video. All the very best for your application process. We really hope that you get some outstanding results. Thank you very much.